Hello, it is me, Anime Wheat or Wheat Anime. You can call me whichever. This is my Valentine's Day special, as you can see from the title. Um, what I am doing with this is my Valentine's Day special, as I said, and that's it. It is, and I'm gonna give a little rundown on the series. Okay, see, I always my personal preference. This is my personal preference in some like what ifs or texting stories you can see on My Hero Academia what ifs. I like the ones where it is what if Deku has or is the only male with a quirk. See, I like this one. These type of scenarios and like stories. Because what if that's like happened? I always thought it was cool, and that's why I'm making this. And this is, well, Valentine's Day special. I'm sorry for repeating it. I'm not, it's going to come out today. The day you're watching this, or when it was posted, is a week before Valentine's Day. I have stuff to do on Valentine's Day. If you see a video on Valentine's Day, uh, well, I don't have stuff to do. I mix up the days. But yet, if you want to help me with any ideas, I'll be making a community post on it's giving me what if ideas that I might do. I have a whole entire list of what if ideas I'm gonna do in the future. And as you know, I have three going on stories at the moment. The reason why I'm starting this one, I feel like I know I stated it earlier, but is because Valentine's Day special. I'm just see for every holiday, I'll be doing it a week before. To start it a week before on Wednesday. See, the Wednesday videos won't always be here. It will like for a day, or unless I want to like record more, which I the I have the half of the reason I'm doing this is because I want to record more. I want to get more stuff out for you all listening to this. So yeah, and I'm gonna say the story name. I'm gonna explain its powers, and then we'll get into the story. Okay. Well, I won't explain his powers yet. I mean, I'll explain the story and how this works. See, with my personal preference, I've always liked the only male with a the what if Deku or Midoriya was the only male with a quirk, right? Oh yeah, before we get back to that, disclaimer. I'm sorry I'm putting this so uh late. But disclaimer, I stutter my words. If you've watched any other my videos, you would know this. I stutter my words a lot. I'm sorry, and if you hear any background noise, I'm sorry. Um, construction, cars going by and whatnot, animals, birds, whatnot. Okay, so yeah. And another disclaimer, I do impressions. I try to do impressions. Okay, I try. I'm not gonna, I'm not good at any point. I'm not good at all. Okay. I just like them. I feel like they give a more intense story or immerse story to you all. And for me, I like doing what ifs. I listen to a lot of what ifs. Zether, that's not how you say his name. Golden what ifs. Uh, Rogex. I listen to a lot of these guys on a daily basis. Um, where I watch texting stories on a daily basis. I just find them really entertaining. So yeah. Yeah, back to the story. Well, not story, I'm explaining the story. Well, I'm gonna give some background. That's what I'm doing. So the background of this universe, canon AU alternate universe. Okay, that's what that means. With this, Midoriya will be the only male with a quirk, or, well, powers. Well, he's gonna have a quirk, okay? Um, yeah, as you can see in the picture, it's Beast Boy, as you can see. Not exactly this costume of him. I got other costumes in mind I want to do. So yeah, it's not exactly gonna be this costume as you see in the picture. I just like the picture because all the animals around it, right? So yeah, moving on to the background, it's there. Women all like in well in the canon of the story, women were always more dominant in the like in the world. So and once Quark started coming through, it went haywire. Not haywire in the sense of well, female hero society, no male was hero, blah blah blah. That's what the whole entire thing is. But yeah, you get the premise of the thing. So yeah. So we let's start the story now. The background's done. Let's start the story. Sorry. But yeah, let's start the story. So we first start this off when Izuku was getting born. Or well, giving when Inko was giving birth, what I should say. When she was giving birth to Midoriya, well, Izuku, and his sister. Is Itsuki? Itsuki? I think Itsuki. I think that's how you say it. It's Itsuki. Itsuki. There you go. Yeah, it's Is. Well, the two siblings, the two Midoriya siblings. They're a set of twins. But uh, first, well, we get into the hospital room where Inko is getting giving birth to those two. Not Itsuki. That's too hard to say for me. Izumi is her name. Izumi is her name. Okay. So we first, well, giving birth, the the doctor would be saying, "Push." You know how giving birth works. I hope you do. Like, if you don't, talk to your parents or something. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I'm a YouTuber. I don't do much. Um, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, man. Don't give hate on me. Go talk to your parents or siblings. Unless you're an only child, then go talk to your cousin or uncle or aunt. Someone that you trust to tell you, okay? But yeah, Inka was giving birth. First to come out would be Izumi Midoriya, and yeah, and then the second one would come out, and it would be Midoriya. Which they what see with this picture, I couldn't find much other pictures, which I could. I just like this one, as I said previously, because the animals, I think it's cool. He doesn't have green skin. Okay, I want to point that out here now. He does not have green skin. He's if you watched the Teen Titans movie against Teen Titans versus Justice Justice League. I forget. Hold on. I don't remember if he has green skin in there. He does. See, if you ever watched the Titans show on Netflix or anything, yeah, you'll know. Uh, hold on, that's for a different one if. Those are all different what ifs. Crap. But yeah, no green skin. Okay, he doesn't. If you know anything about DC, Beast Boy, the character, has the disease. and he was cured by like the blood of a green monkey. That's what I got from it. I know that much. I love these superheroes, and yeah, yeah. He looks normal. He looks as he looks in canon. Okay, that's what he looks like. And the doctor, once she saw, uh, sorry, once she saw that one was a male, which they don't have anything against males. It's just a superiority complex type deal. So, and like in other what is, they would say, do you want to keep this one or do you want to put it up for adoption? Inca would say, I would keep it. Sorry, I ate beans earlier and they're coming back up. So if you hear me pause and say sorry, I'm burping. I'm sorry. But yeah. Oh gosh. I'm terribly sorry about that. But yeah. Inko says she'll keep them, and Hayashi is there, or their parent is. Hayashi is there, but yet in a corner, and was not the told get to. Well, he's sitting in the corner regardless, and Inko would be holding. Well, the if you know anything about birth or the process, they would take the babies away, get them cleaned up, bring them back to the parents, wrapped up in blankets and crap and stuff. So yeah, they had their babies now. I'm gonna now do a time skip to when they were 5. Okay. And the siblings, Midoriya's siblings, when I say siblings, I mean these two, okay, are playing around in the backyard with Katsuki, which I've learned recently that Katsuki is a gender neutral name. Okay, so Bakugo, which is female, because this is how this most usually works, keeping it there. Which Katsuki is a good gender neutral name, so it's Bakugo. It's still Bakugo with the same quirk. So this is on a weekend, when this time skip takes place. And uh the siblings in Bakugo are playing are in their backyard playing at the Bakugo household, at the house of Bakugo, the Bakugo house. So they're playing in the backyard together. And Bakugo brings up the point that she uh found out her quirk this past week. And so did Izumi. Well, before this, Bakugo tells the two that she found out what her quirk was, and they all get excited. I mean, to like Izumi and Bakugo would get uh excited more than Midoriya, Izuku. He would get more excited. Okay, like the two girls would get more excited than Midoriya himself. He would Midoriya would get excited enough to like praise, like good job on, like saying good job on finding out what his quirk is, right? He would be like that type of excited. And uh Bakugo would say something else. Or no, not Bakugo. Izumi would say something else. About she will find the two siblings will, well, she will find out her quirk tomorrow because I'm gonna well, Inko already told like the two siblings, sorry, the Midoriya siblings that males can't have quirks, or if they do, they have very minor quirks, like a minor, like say there was this one guy that can light his finger on fire. and do nothing else. It's like a torch or a candle, right? He could light his the tip of his finger on fire and that crap. Now, or they would have a slight or a minor. No, no. Never mind. Put that down the hole. That males can't even have them. Okay, not possible. No, no. Sorry. I sore throat. Slightly sick. Sorry. Uh, but yeah. Uh, but males can't have their quirks, and Ego told this to Izuku very quickly. Once, like, quickly, like, once Izuku could proper, per, hold on, proper hand, uh, a proper hand, like, speech, and, like, hear these words, it was probably, uh, like, when he was 4, right? What? When did I say this? Was I, I, I said it was when they were 5. Yeah. So Inko told them a year earlier, and before she told him that, Izuku was so excited. He was so excited to find out his quirk, and he was so jumpy, like he was so happy. He, sorry, uh, he it was so excited. He was so like happy every day, every time he would went to school or whatever. He was so happy, but now he's shut out a little bit, or a lot. He's not go happy go lucky. He still gets excited about stuff like seeing quirks, seeing heroes fight, and he especially gets excited when he sees animals. He's an animal nerd. Okay, he's an animal nerd. So, and he enjoys heroes and animals alike, and dinosaurs and what animals. So yeah, he enjoys it all. Sorry, but yeah, he is an animal nerd. But yeah, and Bakugo would well, they would all know about how boys can't have quirks, right? But yet we they start playing again, and they say they should play heroes and villains, right? And Izuku would be the villain somehow. I'm telling you, kids, kids make up the stupidest games. Like once, I know I'm going off a rant, but I'm telling you, kids make stupid games. Once I was in school, okay, I was like 8 or 7, 8, maybe in 6, first grade age, right? I had these two friends. All three of us loved Pokemon so much. We would pretend to have fake Pokemon battles. We would get into a triangle, and yeah, that's how it went. But yeah, they make this. Here's in villain, blah blah blah, whatever I said. And this is when we find out Izumi's cool. Okay, so with this, they would also I'm gonna say the Bakugo family were a bit more up in the world in like richness. Okay, so they have like a big house ish, biggest big-ish house, right? And they have a woods behind their house. They have a path there. So they say, hey, Bakugo would say, hey Midori, hey Izuku, go running in the forest and we'll try to find you. It will be like hide and seek, right? And so he goes running, and he finds a tree, and that's low enough where he can actually climb up it. So he goes like almost to the top, but yet not to the top. It's like an oak tree, big old oak tree. And he sees a bird's nest right beside it, and he recognized the birds. It is a he recognized the bird's egg collar, right? I'm gonna say the bird was it was a a hawk, like a hawk nest, right? And so he also, while he's messing with these like bird eggs, uh he hears a loud screech, and it's the mother hawk. And so, and before we continue with Midoriya, we'll go back to Bakugo and Izumi. So now they're going uh through the forest and trying to find him, trying to find Izuku. And while they're walking, they could hear some scrubbling in the trees, and so they look up into the tree and they can see Midoriya, and Bakugo would yell out, "Hey, well, we could see Izuku, and uh, Bakugo and Izumi would say, "We found you. We found you." And Midoriya would look down, but yet, while he would be looking down, and the hawk would go swooping down and like hit Midoriya, which he's a child at this point. He's 5 years old. He doesn't weigh much. A hawk of relatively big size could knock him down. So it knocks him down with its talons. Like, and if you don't know anything about animals, I am an animal nerd to myself. I absolutely love animals. This is why I'm doing this. I That's why I picked this power four and a half. Okay, so hawks and like birds alike, birds of prey. If you don't know, it's like the big birds, like eagles, hawks, falcons, all these birds that will hunt other birds to find food. All these, like, yeah. Um, hawks and falcons, or hawks, birds of prey in general, will swoop down at their prey, and their talons, they will like put it, uh, like, as you know, the talons are like three like giant things, giant claws. So they'll put it into like a fist and hit their bird, and either take it, like mark it down in one shot, or it will knock them out. Okay, that's the easiest way to put it. But yeah, that's how that works. And the hawk would do that. Izuku would start falling out of the tree, and Izumi, Izumi would hold up her hands into like she would hold one up to her head and the other one out, and Izuku would stop mid-air. And she would take the one hand off of her head. This is how I'm gonna have her quote. She has to at least touch her head to make this work. Okay, it's telekinesis. Actually, no. She doesn't touch her head at all. She holds out her hands, and Midoriya stops midair. She brings him down. Blah blah blah. Saved. Midoriya would be saved. They would in the in the game right there and go back to the house because they could also hear uh Bakugo's mother and Inko, Mitsuki and Inko yelling for him to come back. Okay, and I'm gonna give another point to the story, a like the background. See, men are seen as maids, really, is the safe word to say it. I don't think that a different word would get me demonetized or anything. Plus, I don't think a word. they don't think YouTube is paying attention to a small time channel like me with anything. So I'm still not gonna say the other word. I'm gonna say maid. They were seen as maids, okay? Men were seen as maids. They do everything around the house. Right. And whole entire opposite of this world, our real world. See, I'm not that type of guy. I know many other people that are that type of person. I know plenty of people like that. Okay. But yeah, the Hulk would still be mad. So he would chase the children. Sorry. It would still chase the children out of the forest and then finally go back after it reaches the end of the forest, then turn back, go to its eggs. Okay, that's what it does. So yeah, uh, they get back. What they tell Inko and Mitsuki. Is that how you say your name? I think it is Mitsuki. What happened, and they tell him, and Izumi would say to the two adults, that she unlocked her quirk. Okay, and yeah, she unlocks her quirk. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do another, and they go to the doctor, that quirk doctor, get it checked out, and it's called telekinesis. It's called telekinesis. It's still so it it's different from regular telekinesis in the sense that uh there's a limit of how much she can use it. It works on her intelligence and her reflexes, her eye movement, really. So she would have to be. It's like if you ever like threw if you ever played dodgeball and the person was running and you threw it at them and it didn't hit them because you were throwing it at them while in one position. So she would have to say if somebody was falling from a building, right, or from the air, she would have to do it under them. It's like a trampoline. Actually, no, scratch that. Put that in the hole. Um, it's telekinesis. That's all. Don't pay attention to whatever I said previously. Please don't. But yeah. Uh, with that, I'm gonna do a time skip to a to uh when all of them were 9, going on 10. It like they would be 9 at this point. Okay, time skip to when they were 9, and I'm gonna say this is also on a weekend. Okay, and this is when we figure out Izuku's powers. Okay. See, he would be walking in a public forest, I guess. He would be walking there. He told his parents that, no, they would be on a school field trip, okay? A school field trip to go to a national forest, a a national forest to go on a walk. See, with this, they would go for a walk, and Midoriya would get lost. Izuku, not anyone else. It would be like went to the bathroom and everyone forgot he was there. They forgot he was in the bathroom. So they left, right? They left and while at this point, uh Bakugo would be bullying Midoriya, but not to extent as in canon. She would just Bakugo would just say mean stuff to him, okay? And It's not nothing physical, nothing like harm. She's not beating him up. She's just like being mean to him, like saying bad stuff. Mental harm. It's not physical harm, it's mental harm. Okay? I need to get a better mic. I don't even have a mic. I'm using my phone. I should shut my mouth. But yeah, he would think of where they told they would go. They said they were going back to the buses. Okay? They said they were going to go back to the buses. It's time to go. So while on the way back, Midoriya would look up on the side of the hill and see that there is a mountain lion looking down at him, and it jumps off of like it starts. He sees the mountain lion and he starts booking it, and so the mountain lion starts going behind him, and Midoriya trips on a rock and starts tumbling in like in a horror movie fashion. And when he falls, he turns around and starts pushing with his hands and feet because the mountain lion would be getting closer and closer. But while doing that, he felt like a tug, not like a physical tug, like a mental tug of like, and he started crying at this point. He looks at his hands. They're and he's sweating for some weird reason, and he starts like growing. He gets on his like hands and knees at this point and starts like grabbing at his face and trying to rub the sweat out of his eyes, right? And I'm gonna make sure I get the right one on the first try. Hold on. Eh? Which one is it? Come on. Tell me I did not get it. I didn't get it, did I? Oh, that sucks. But yet hold on. He starts turning into a tiger. Or on his, he looks down on his, like, paws, which he would be a relatively big tiger at this point. Like not relatively big. He would be big in his own right because he's a tiger. But yet he's at the same height as the mountain lion, and he looks at it and the mountain lion starts to back up, like whimper away, and Midoriya would be growling at it, or growling at it, and it runs off. And by this point, as we know with in most transformation powers, your clothes will rip because you are not the same size. So he's just a tiger. He he looks at his clothes and he sees that they're ripped, right? And so he just starts going down the trail again, and he finds that everyone's there. Like the class, his class and other classes that went on the trip. They all like the teachers turn around and like they look that they see a green tiger. Hold on, I'll zoom in on it. They see a green tiger just walking out of the trail with like a backpack on, and they start like thinking like, do we have any children that can turn into animals? And like all the teachers are conversing, and so he looks at all of them and he just talks outright because, well, if you don't know, Beast Boy can talk while he's in that animal form. Yeah, he can talk while he's in animal form, and he says, "I can," and they all look at him again like, "How is that thing talking?" One of them actually said, "I'm gonna say like his teacher says it." It's talking. It is talking. I wish we had more money to hire pro heroes. Oh gosh. But yet he says, no, no, no need to say that. I'm not mean or anything. It's me, Izuku Midoriya. And they all start laughing. I mean, every single one. The boys, the teachers, the even his own sister, laughs. Bakugo just starts laughing like a howler monkey. I mean, they're all laughing until he transforms back. Like he thinks, like, I wonder if I can transform back. He's thinking this. This is in his head. He doesn't say this. He thinks, I wonder how do I transform back? I don't know. I'm gonna imagine myself again. And boom, he's back. He's naked, but yet like he's there. He's naked. So he covers his area with his backpack, and he asks uh like he says this out loud, like, does anyone have like a coat or something, anything? I don't have extra clothes. And they all look at him like he they're shocked. A male actually has a quirk. Like, and by the way they're all looking at him, he just transforms back. He actually this time he thinks, like, if I can transform into a tiger, I wonder if I can transform into a bear, like a bear cub, because he's 8 years old at this point, or 9 years old, and he says, and he transforms into a bear cub, and he looks at everyone, and he says, uh, "I'm special." And he runs on the bus. He goes past everyone. He runs on the bus. He gets on and hides under a seat, under like under the bus like driver's seat. He hides under that, and like he is terrified at this point because they're gonna call heroes. They're gonna call people to come and get him. He's watched like he doesn't think this is true, but he's saying it because he's worried. But yet, yeah. What time is it? I've been going for a couple minutes, 32 minutes, I believe. So I'll keep on going until I get to. Actually, yeah, he gets on there. The days go by relatively weird because everyone's weird to him on the fact that he doesn't know what to do anymore. He he figures out, like, throughout days on the weekends, he figures out he can transform into a large variety of animals. But he has to know what the animal looks like. He has to know what the it is, the what it looks like. Like that's how it works. But once Inko finds out, she goes haywire. Which Hayashi is left by now. He went to America to visit family or stuff. He left. He's gone. He's out of here. So Midoriya is the only male in the house now. And so and most of his time, he either spends out in the woods or he hides from any, like, camera people, like paparazzi, like news people. See, nobody told anybody. Like, maybe someone called a hero, like, tell him, and the hero laughed him off. Like, you are lying. There is no way a a male, has a quirk. So nobody believes the teacher. Nobody nobody believes any of these teachers. Nobody believes anyone. So the days go on and on and on. And Midoriya's training, clearly, because he wants to become a hero, right? But yet he's thinking, like, I won't be able to get in UA because they won't let any males in there, like, at all. They won't let males in there unless it was Nezu, because he's an animal. He has an intelligence quirk. That's how he's the only male in this society. And yeah, he's the only male in this besides Midoriya with a quirk. And he's a stinking animal. He's a bear rat thing. I don't know what he is. But yeah. See, he's like years go by and he trains and trains. He doesn't stop training. And we'll time skip to camp, like when the anime slash manga starts. Okay, we'll start there. Right, we'll start there. Um, at the moment, okay, he he has his hood on. He has a jacket over his school uniform, and he hides his face because he's been noticed around, like, by people. Even though the heroes or anybody didn't believe the teachers, they still wanted to check out themselves to see if it's true, if this boy has a quirk. So yeah, they he hides his face to go to school to do anything really. So yeah, he hides his face anything he can. Hold on, I got a way I can actually prove what he looks like. He looks like this. Okay, he looks like Canon. I'm sorry. I keep on dropping everything. But yeah. So we finally get to the sludge villain incident. Okay. I know I just went through a lot of what if ideas. Yeah, I don't care. Well, you ought to know that stuff I have. But yeah, they just go, well, we get to Cannon. He is relatively fit. Like, he is fit. Okay, I know, I just go on. When I get these ideas on the head, I go to a mini story. But yeah, um, as we follow him from going home, well, the school days ended, the last day of school has happened. The teacher throws up their hands and tells everyone they want, well, the girls and Midoriya, like, the teacher says, "Oh, I know, Midoriya and the girls want to be heroes," and the other, like, males in the the school all hate Midoriya. Like, they hate him. Like, and with Bakugo's bullying, it still happened, right? But not really bullying. She just wants to see him turn into, like, a lemur. Like, she thinks it's hilarious to see him turn into a monkey. Like, she laughs her head off every time he turns into a monkey. And it doesn't matter. It She laughs all the time. Right. Hmm. Right. She thinks that it's hilarious. She Even though Izumi does do the most of the boiling now. Boiling, that's boiling. Bullying. now, and it's physical and mental harm at the same time, right? So she doesn't want her brother to become a hero. She doesn't want him in the spotlight anymore because she always felt jealousy after the fact that they found out he has a quirk called, which the quirk is called Animal Kingdom, or the fact that like Inko knew a doctor, a quirk doctor, so that's who she goes to. And so, and when she went to the house with Midori, she asked her to check. Okay, I got an idea. We do a little time. Uh, it's not time skip backwards. It's crap. So we go back in time, right? Get back in time, and we see Inko and uh Izuku go into the doctor's house. I'm gonna give her name. Maratabi. I know that's the name of the two-tailed beast from Naruto, but I think it's a cool name, so I'm naming her that. So they go to this doctor named Monatabi, right? She has a quirk, analyzation quirk. But yeah, they go to her. She looks at Inko, which this is back at 8 years old, right? The day after the field trip. So they go back. They go to this doctor's house on the doctor's day off or something, and they hang out. Well, Inko does, and he's just Izuku's just there. And Inko says, "My son has a quirk." And the doctor, Monatabi, looks at Inko like she's insane. Like, and the doctor says, "Yeah, right. Your son does not have a quirk." And Inko says, "Izuku, show her." I and Midoriya says, "I don't want to. This is my favorite shirt. I don't want to tear it. I never." And Inko says, "I never told you what to turn into. You can turn into a bird or something." I'm sorry, I live by a farm. I am and they have a donkey. So yeah, I believe it counts something. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I will worry about it later. But yeah. Um, with this, uh, and the doctor looks and checks looks at uh Midori Izuku, and he transforms into a what animal? Um, I'm gonna say like a hawk, because by this time he would turn into a hawk. He would realize like, hey, I can turn into many animals. He would transform into a hawk and fly onto the woman's like right beside her on the couch, like on the armrest of like a seat. He would land there and look at her and say, "Hi, it's me. You don't need to look that shocked at this point." And yeah, so yeah, she checks it and she gives it a name. It's called Animal Kingdom because, well, it's a cool name. Yeah, right. And we'll go back to present time. So yeah, um, yeah, we are now back at present, and so Bakugo would come over to Midori and ask him with Izumi on the side of her and ask Midoriya Midoriya, uh, Izuku, to transform into a monkey again. And Izuku would say, "No, I'm going home. You have the video," and which I'm gonna get context to that. Um, Bakugo took a video of Izuku in monkey form, blah blah, yeah, monkey form, and she would also take a video of this, which he was listening to some bumping music, like he was listening to the Teen Titans Cipher by Rustage, and he's like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And then he turned on Abstract by Rustage, and then after that, he turned on Hit My Peak by Connor's Quest, and he's just jamming. Yeah, I just named so many songs. They're all very good. But yeah. So we get to Cannon. Starts to go home without Izumi. And he puts his like large gray jacket back on and covers his head and starts walking out. He has everything and nothing else really happens. He walks out, he gets out of the school, and well, we go to under the bridge. He goes for the fast lane to straight to his house. And he goes under the bridge and he hears uh a, a loud thumping noise in the sewer. So he just like he looks at the sewer gate and sees it's moving. He just starts walking. Like he doesn't care. It could be a hero or villain. He says, "I'm getting out of here," and so he just starts running. He starts like speed walking, like, and he starts getting out of there faster. And he hears a loud like a bang behind him, and he sees uh a big sludge villain pop out of the sewer gate, and the sludge villain looks at him and starts going after him. But yet he stands there and like he looks at it like, and it's going as fast as a slug. It's basically just a big slug by the looks of it. And so he starts walking a little faster because it's getting closer. And like he's like, and he hears another a voice behind the sludge villain, and they both turn to see and they hear, "I am here to stop this villain right now." Yeah, it's All Might. I told you in the beginning of this video, I do impressions and they're half terrible at times. And then you can hear All Might say, not Detroit, Texas Smash. I am terrible at them. It just sounds like I'm yawning and saying this. Texas Smash. Yeah, it sounds better, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. She, All Might, All Might, um, uses Texas Smash, right? Uses it, bomb, bing, bomb, slime villain taken care of. And Izuku wasn't the biggest fan. Well, he was still a fan, so he asked All Might for her autograph, but he was more of a fan of animal-esque heroes, heroes, animal heroes with animal quirks is what I'm trying to say. Like Ryoku, Gang Orca, the Wild Wild Pussycats, like them. He was more interested into them, but yet who doesn't like All Might? So yeah, he still gets the autograph and he goes off the way. Until All Might says, "You look familiar." And he would say, "I don't look familiar at all." And All Might would look at him like confused, rubbing her chin. Like All Might would rub their chin and like, huh, maybe you don't look familiar. I don't know. I'm out of here though. I'm gonna go put this villain in jail. And they go off. Nothing happens. Like the sludge villain attack on Bakugo and what don't happen at all. So they're fine. Like nothing happens. They all go home. Well, Midoriya would beat Izumi at home because they took the long way. So yeah, they go home. Blah blah blah. Uh, time for 10 month period training. He would still train. Goes there, trains, take him and beat, clean it. Yep. And while he's on the beach, it's probably like 2 to 3 months already into the training, right? He's cleaning it up and he sees, well, at the moment, he's taking a nap on the bench, there. Like, yeah, he's taking a nap. Not transformed or anything. He's just laying there on a bench. And a old, like a older looking lady walks by with a younger looking lady. Uh, and they walk past and they look at the beach and sees that it's more clean than it was 2 months ago. And the one girl would say, "Hey, I thought this was supposed to not be clean." Well, and the older looking woman would say, "Well, you did decide to come here late." And the younger one would say, "True." So they look they look over the edge and see a man there sleeping, and they go down and wake him up. And he opens, and Midoriya opens his eyes and says, he says, "Yeah, what do you two want?" And the younger looking lady would say, "Well, you're not supposed to talk like that, you idiot." And the older looking lady would say, "I feel like I've seen you somewhere." And Midoriya would say, "I feel like I saw you somewhere too." And at this, um, they would say their names. The younger one would go first, and it would be Miria Tokuta. I'm also pretty sure Tokuta is his first name, if I'm not mistaken. I think. I don't know. Which the big three of UA would already be in their second year. Okay. So they're just training at this point. They wanted to train, right? And Midoriya would set up, and the older looking lady, which she would also say her name, and it is Toshinori? Toshinori Yagi. It's All Might. But yet they don't, which Midoriya doesn't know that. But yeah. And the, well, Yagi, Toshinori, Takahashi, I don't know. All Might, I'm gonna say All Might, but even though you don't know that. She would say, "Young man, do you know who was cleaning this up? Cleaning this beach up?" And it's like a quarter of the way done, or more than half. The beach is more than half clean. Sorry. Um, yeah. And Midori would say, "Yes, Miss Yagi, I am the one cleaning it, or cleaned it this much." Which, let me remind you, it's 3 to 2 months, and he stays there most of the time, like day to night. So you can get a lot in this. So yeah, and they both look shocked and ask him what he's doing. this for? And he would say, I don't think you would believe me if I said this. So I'm gonna say something different, if that's fine. So he's saying he's lying. He is lying to their faces and saying he's lying to them. And they say, um, don't lie, just tell us the reason. And we won't think it's stupid. We believe in anything. In I don't know the word. Gender neutrality? I don't know. Neutral gender appreciation, I guess is what we will call it. And with that, he would say what he's doing it for. He's saying it's for, he's trying to get into UA. And they both look at him shocked, like, we did not expect him to say that. But yet they don't laugh at him. And he asked them, well, he was expecting them to laugh and say, you can't do that, you're a male or something along the lines, because he's had people come up like this before, when he was doing this. When he first started, women started coming up and asking him, why is he doing this? Some pros even did it, but yet they didn't laugh at him in his face. They didn't laugh at him in his face. So, and he looks at the two women like he was expecting them to laugh, but yet they don't. They're respectable. It's Mario and uh oh my, or yeah, and he and Midoriya would know who both these people are at this point. He would know that Miria Tokita Mirio is in UA because he's looked up UA and seen the highlights of young pro hero Lemillion saved the day once again with Sir Night Eye, or like saved some people, or he's seen like the names of them, their faces, but yet he doesn't know who All Might, the Toshinari is. He would like, yeah. So he and Miss Yagi, which is All Might, I'm just gonna call her that while Midoriya doesn't know. Miss Yagi would say if you wouldn't mind of Miss Young Miria Tokita to train here with you, do you? And Midoriya would say, I don't mind at all. I'm happy somebody will help. So yeah, they both start doing cleaning it and they train after the fact because hey, why not? They find like a weightlifting set, I guess. No, I'm joking. Um, with it, um, while this is happening, well, we'll just time save to the entrance exam, okay? We'll time skip to that, and we we see Midori try to get in UA, which he does somehow. He gets in there. He doesn't trip or anything. He just goes in the hallway with his hood up, and he does the test. And when President Mike would try to explain the robots, uh, when Ida Ida would raise up her hand, which I'm gonna say this right now. I should have said this when we first started the story, but I'm doing it now. Um, all the carrot people in class 1A are women. I'm gonna yeah, feminine. Okay? They're feminine. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. We're done. Go on. So yeah, they're all women. So and he and Ida says, like he says. like he says in the anime, which it's a girl now. Ito says, "You missed a robot," and like, what they say in the anime is what he says. But yet she would also point over to at Midoriya, and Midoriya would start sweating. Like at this point, he's changed jackets, so Bakugo, which he's sitting next to, wouldn't even recognize him at this point. And Ida would say, "Take down your hood. You're looking shady, and you're not even paying any attention to uh President Mike's speech. You're not paying any attention to it at all, and that's very disrespectful." Okay, I'm back. I had to look at something. Sorry for going quiet. I had to look at something. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, we she would say something along the lines of, "You're not paying attention to President Mike's thing, and take down your hood. You look shady." And uh that's very disrespectful to President Mike and UA in present. I don't know words. Which they already done the written portion of the exam, by the way. Wanted to point that out. And yeah. So while and Midoriya and his best female uh impression would say, "I'm not gonna do this impression. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm terrible at voices already. I'm not gonna try to do a feminine voice. Okay? I'm not trying it." But yeah. He would Midoriya would say, "I think you should shut your mouth and sit down and let President Mike finish talking, because you interrupted her when she was about to explain the fourth robot." But no, Miss talks a lot, doesn't know how to shut their mouth. And by this point, Midoriya, well, not Midoriya, Ida would look dumbfounded at this and would shut her mouth up and sit down. And President Mike would say, "Thank you, little listener." And Midoriya would give up two thumbs up, right? He would give up two thumbs up to President Mike, right? And well, President Mike would explain the robot, the fourth pointer, and yeah. So now it's time for the practical exam at this point, right? It's time for that. It's time to do that. And so they all go to their separate exam areas, right? And with that, they start the exam. Midoriya would try to go up front. Well, he does get up front with his hood still on, and he starts getting to into a like running position, like Olympic runners get into, right? And he would start booking it while the gates open, and he would start to transform. into a I'm gonna say he starts to transform into a um uh something strong yet fast. I'm gonna say he starts to transform into a tiger, let's say. He starts transforming into a tiger and he books it after that. Right. He starts going around taking down he starts to take down robots after robots, and while he does that, he finds a big row of robots, three pointers and two pointers mixed. Right. And he starts tearing them apart one by one. And while he does that, we're gonna go up to the teachers. And Nezu says to the other pro heroes, well, heroes, the pro heroes that are watching. He Nezu says, uh, he says, anyone anyone catching your eyes, heroes, ladies, people? Yep, I'm saying ladies. Anyone catching your eye, ladies? And and I'm gonna point out a point. That Midoriya didn't show any type of power during the 10 months training to either All Might or Maria. Okay, nothing at all. Okay, nothing at all. Right, and I mean absolutely no type of transformation. Okay, okay, no sort of transformation at all. So yeah, uh, I'm gonna say um uh who Hawks maybe. Hawks would say, I don't know, the person that can turn into animals is pretty cool, and they can see well at this point Midoriya has untransformed from and here's the thing about his quirk, he can't go in like he can't he can't be a animal and turn into an animal from that. Okay, he has to turn back to his human form and then transform into the animal he wants to transform in. Okay, that's how this power works, okay? So, and with that, uh, and Hawks would say, I don't know, the person that can transform into animals is pretty cool. Is pretty rad, I mean. Right. And so, uh, they start watching him, like almost everyone in the room. Aizawa, um, 13, Snipe, Midnight, all these people are watching him while going back and forth with the other students. And when we, and Nesu says he looks pretty strong, but let's see its limit. And he looks over at a button. He presses that button. That opens up another button. And when he presses that button, that opens up another button in his like chair. And then he presses that button, and it opens a giant red button that says zero pointer. And Aizawa says, "Don't do that, you psycho." And I Nezu would look at Aizawa like with the biggest shit-eating grin anyone has seen from Nezu. And Nezu slams his paw onto that button, and we'll go back to Midoriya at the moment. And he's destroying robots. I'm gonna say at this point he's probably destroyed 50, no, 45 robots. And it was a mix between of all three robots, one, two, and three pointers. Right? He was he's took down that many, right? There was probably like 20 in that like big thing, and there was another big row behind that with like 15 or like uh 20 again, right? So yeah, takes all those robots down, lickety split, and he feels a rumbling in the ground. So he transforms back. And I'm gonna point this out now. His clothes still don't like fix his transformation. So he has no clothes, like at all, right? He has no clothes on. So while they're looking at the person, they see him transform back, and they see that it's a male, and they look confused, like, huh? And All Might, which they would be there, and would say, "Huh, I recognize that boy, but from where?" And like the big three of UA would also be there to watch, and Miria would say to All Might, that's the kid we helped clean up we helped clean up the beach with." And they would look at each other and like, and he wasn't lying. And they would both say at the same time that he wasn't lying. Like he wasn't lying at all when he said he was trying to get into UA. No lying at all. And they would say this out loud. They would say, "We know that boy, and but we didn't know he had a quirk." And everyone would look at him confused. And like we'll go back to Midoriya, which he's on a roof in his hawk form. But yeah, and he looks down the hallway trying to find more, like the lane, trying to find more robots to destroy. Can't find any. He can't find any. And so he's deciding, I don't know, I guess I'll fly around. And then he looks down the lane again and sees something. Well, he could feel the ground shaking, right? Am I correct? Okay, good. Like he can feel the whole entire city shaking and everyone's running. And he sees a big, massive robot hitting buildings, making uh parts of it fall down. Debris, there we go, debris falling down, and he sees a girl getting crushed. Or like get all this landed on. And he starts going flying at there to trying to make it there before the robot can and crush the girl. And which the heroes see this too and tell Nezu to stop. To and he's trying to press button after button to see if uh trying to get the robot to stop, but it doesn't stop at all. It just doesn't stop. It keeps on going and keeps on going. It doesn't stop at all, right? It just doesn't stop. And so now we're looking at in Midoriya's eyes, in which the pro heroes can also see this too. They see a tiny little, like from their point of view, a a bird flying at that thing and transforms back into a human, and the human starts flying. and he starts to transform into a massive ape, like a massive gorilla. It's like it's tall as the zero pointer. It's a giant. Sorry for my language right here. It's a giant ass uh gorilla, and bro, it's like a massive gorilla. He has no limitations. He is insane, which he has limitations in the transforming. But yet, like if he, it's insane. It's like 50 meters tall. I think that's long. I don't know. I mean, tall, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't use metric. I don't use meters. I use feet. So it's like it's as tall as the zero pointer, I'm just gonna say. Okay? It is giant ape form. He can only use this. He doesn't use this one a lot. This form. He hasn't transformed into this. He's transformed into it once and he hurt from it for 2 weeks. Okay, he was hurt for 2 weeks from trying to even transform into this dang thing, and he thinks, it's worth it to save a life, right? It's worth it, and so he grabs the zero pointer by its head and crushes it, and pushes the thing over, and now he starts to transform back into human, and excuse my language for this, he's still bare ass naked. He is naked. So when the woman we see, uh, like she finally floated well, got the rubble off of her. Okay, she finally got it off of her, right? The rubble off, and she looks up, seeing a person falling down, and looks behind her. The zero pointer is falling down also. She hardens up her body, which now at this point we know who this is. It's Karashima, and catches Midoriya and falls on the ground straight after the fact. Right? Falls down on the ground, and Midoriya rolls out of the way and hold on. And he does that. Okay, you can see the clip. He does this and to cover up his area, his junk, okay, for males. And Hiroshima doesn't care because, like, I don't know, it's Hiroshima. She wouldn't care at all, right? But yet she would be blushing. Hiroshima would be blushing at this because he's naked, and he transforms um hold on into a like a I don't know. I'm trying to think of an animal how to be reasonable. Into a tiger again. Okay, he transforms into a tiger, and he says, "Get on my back. I'll take you to a recovery girl." And which he is. She's also surprised that it's a male with a quirk, and like, what? What? And what did I see? It's like there. She is. Hiroshima is so confused right now. Okay, so confused, and we could hear the bells, the sirens ring, and Hero, and once Midoriya got uh Hiroshima back to recovery girl and got her healed up, uh he starts to book it. He starts to book it out of the ring, the thing. But yet the his back legs get caught up in a scarf, and in front of him is the girl he was training with, which is Miria, right? And and which Tamaki and well no, like Miria and Aizawa caught him before he could escape. And they catch him and they hold him down until oh my like the others could get there. Right? And Midnight when she got there, she knocks him out immediately. They're not taking chances. And like and while see with this they knock him out, right? See, Aizawa couldn't cancel his quirk because it's a transformation type quirk. A mutation, I think. I know he can't erase mutations, but it's a transformation, so he can't really so yeah, you get my point. He can't erase it. She can't. Aizawa can't. Sorry, I deserved again. So yeah, they didn't. So they hold a literal tiger down. Kirishima comes over like while they're doing that, and and she asks with the most confused question: "What is going on?" And like, and Midoriya says, "How am I supposed to know? They they attacked me." And Midnight got there while that house happening, and they knocked out Midoriya, and he transforms back, bare, excuse my language, bare ass naked again. He is naked the through and through, and I feel like they would all get embarrassed. And so Aizawa would take her cloth and wrap it around his junk. I guess I don't know. They would get a towel or something to cover it up. And Aizawa would say to Kirishima, "You didn't see a thing." And she would like use the hair thing like to scare her, and she would start and she would like close her eyes like and say, "I didn't see a thing," and she starts walking off. And so they take Midoriya away into a like a separate room with all these heroes and ask him, what is his quirk? And how did you how? They are all so confused. And like see, they're gonna tell him now all his points in this crap, right? They're gonna they're gonna let him go after they interrogate him, like asking questions about his quirk, how does it work, and how long has he had it? Which, by the way, he's 15 right at this moment. Okay, right. So yeah, they ask him all these different questions, right? And so yeah, they ask all these different questions of the fact of how his quirk works, blah blah blah, age, how long he's had it, and which he notices All Might in like the comparison to the other lady, and he says, "Aren't you All Might?" He says, "Actually, no." He says, "You look familiar," and he would say, "You kind of look like that. You kind of look like All Might by the fact that you're here and you're a part of UA and you're here." And apparently, I heard that you were going to be a teacher here. I'm going to guess that you're All Might, and like they gonna hide it at this point since he knows this much. He put the clues together, so they just let him go. They give him a new pair of clothes. Okay, I'm gonna say that right now. They give him a new pair of clothes. Okay, new pair of clothes. Um, and they don't tell him his points. Actually, they are all confused. He Midoriya, after the fact, just starts running out. He runs like he looks at all of them and says, "I knew this would happen. I'm scared now. Please don't tell anybody." And he books it out of there. And like after he runs out of there, Aizawa would say, "I want him in my class." And yeah, everyone would look at him like, yeah. I mean, how wouldn't you stare at him? Stare at Aizawa after saying that? And Aizawa would have this like a smirk on her face or something. And so now we'll do a time skip for 2 weeks. They get their letters, which Izumi and Izuku would open separately. Okay, so they wouldn't know where they got in at, which they both passed, and yeah, they both passed. Okay, and which Aizawa would be on Izuku's thing, and All Might would be on Izumi's. They had different people on there. Okay, and they would both pass. Izumi points would be on the lines of like she would get fifth overall. Okay. And Izuku, no, not fifth. She would get in like the teens, like 13 or 12, 11 spot. I'm gonna say 11. Okay. And Izuku would get number two. Okay. Who, actually, no, I'm gonna say he got third. He didn't get much of your villain points. The most of it is the fact he saves somebody. Okay, I'm gonna say his points. Okay, for the villain points, he got like 60 points. Okay, and for hero points, he got um he got I'm gonna say for hero points, he's got 40, 45 hero points. And I believe All Might's record was like 120 or something. So he wouldn't beat the high scorer. And and by hero points alone, I mean, yeah, he gets 45 uh hero points. And so yeah, he's he's number two. No, I'm gonna say he got number one because Bakugo would get number two, and she would be furious, and she would say, "How did Izumi is the only one to get ahead of me. Nobody else. She's the only one stronger than me." So I'm gonna say she believed Izumi would get first, right? So yeah, now we'll do a time skip. Um, for for like a week. It would be on Monday, yeah, Monday. And with this, we would also see everyone getting the class. And Izuku would get there earlier than everyone else. He would be the first one there. Nobody else there. So he thinks, hey, my clothes striped. Like he was briefed with the people, like the teachers, right? So he got there first. He takes a seat in the back corner closest to the window. And with his school uniform, he asked if they could have a hood because he doesn't want looked at. Or he asked if he could wear a coat over it because I'm gonna say it was raining, so everyone would bring like an umbrella or something, right? So yeah, sorry. But yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Uh, so he would pick the window back corner closest to the window, right? And he would lay his head down into his arms and he would go to sleep until everyone else got there. But yet nobody else paid attention to him. But yet they could see him. but yeah, they never pay attention to him because they could tell he was sleeping and they didn't want to bother him because he's been there way longer than the others have. So he gets woken up by Bakugo and Ida fighting. Okay, he gets woken up by that, and he looks up to see both of them, and he sighs a deep old sigh. Oh, gosh, why these two? Why? And Izumi would be right beside Bakugo, and he would also see, and he would give an extra long groan, sigh, mix of things, and it would sound like a lot like this. And I'm gonna say, Todoroki, not Todoroki. Who would be funny? Kirishima would be right beside him because she recognized, like, sort of, but yet she would be right beside him, and she would recognize the voice of Midoriya and say, "Oh, I remember you." And Midoriya would look up and say, "Hi," and like Kirishima would be all excited because of the fact that Midoriya actually made it in, and like the other people would be coming through, and I'm gonna say Izumi saved Uraraka, right, from something. It's not to be the same way. It's something else, right? So yeah, they say to them, blah blah blah, and they go. They Kirishima tries to get a talk out of Midoriya, but yet he would say like, "Yeah, I guess." He would say like small words, small like things, small answers to Kirishima, right? And so with that, Aizawa walks in, or a slug, snail mode, caterpillar. They don't really know. They all get confused and see it uh pop up out of behind the desk or come through the door. Right? And he would yell, everyone, she would. Aizawa would yell, everyone shut up and sit down. I'm here to take attendance. And Aizawa would go name after name after name until we would get to the last number. Number 20. Okay. And this would be Midoriya, Izuku. And is Izuku Midoriya here? And she would have excuse my language, a big shit-eating grin. Like, she is a monster about this, right? And he would raise it, like, and he says, and like everyone before him would tell them about their quirks, everyone else about their quirks and crap, right? And so he would stand up, groan, and start walking up to the front with his coat on still. And like when he gets to the front, Aizawa pulls off his coat and he, yeah, he says, "Hi, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Um, yeah, uh," and everyone would look shocked. Everyone would look shocked. Even Bakugo and Izumi, Kirishima, which Kirishima wouldn't look shocked, but yet Kirishima would like throw up her arms like, yeah, look at my friend, yeah, like that, like arms up in the air, like woo, like oh yeah, she's excited because someone she got saved by was there, right? And everyone else, even Shoto, would look confused, like, and they would all say at the same time in like a low voice, "How did a male get here?" And they would all look around at each other like, how did he get in there? And Midoriya would pipe up, would say something to Aizawa, which was, can I go sit back down now? And Aizawa would say, no, you're telling them your quirk. And they all focus back up and look at Izuku again. Like, how does that thing have a quirk? And he would say, my quirk is called Animal Kingdom. I can transform into animals, I guess. And now he looks back at Aizawa and says, now can I get to sit back down? And Aizawa would say, yes, you can. And so he would start walking back, and before he would get at his seat and about to sit down until I'm gonna say um Kaminari would say, what kind of animals can you turn into? And Midori would say, a lot. And he would set his head back down. And before he could actually set his head back down, he put his arms like crossword and tried. And Aizawa would say, uh, put these on. And Midori would look up and see gym uniforms. Okay, which I'm gonna point this out. They had no plan of having a male here. Which, like, um, class, some students liked wearing pants instead of skirts, or yeah, right. So some women liked pants, which they had pants, but yet the shirt would be way too tight on Midoriya. The pants would be way too tight. Everything would be way too tight on him because they're all used to making this for women, which had more slender builds than men, right? So like everything was tight. Midoriya was already uncomfortable in his what like uh his clothing he had to wear. And now he has to put on a costume that will most definitely be way too tight. So he says, screw it. He goes up, picks one up, and asks, where do I change? And as I would say, I guess here. We don't have the thing built yet. So I guess here. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'll change. Here it is. What if too tight? I don't care. And he says, what if it's too tight? I don't know if you could hear me. I'm yelling half the time also. But yet, and Midori would say, what if it's too tight? I guess go shirtless. Okay. So everyone goes out. Mineta would stick behind, but Aizawa would also go out, drag Mineta with him, with her, and they would all go change, blah blah blah. So with he would get changed into the clothing, the sports uniform, right? He would get changed and all. And by that point, um the the coat doesn't fit him. And plus he didn't have anything under the shirt, so he doesn't have like anything under the jacket either. So now he's just walking outside to the training place shirtless. Well, not shirtless. He has the coat around him, right? So now he's out there shirtless, and it's just Aizawa and him. He's sitting down. At this point, wait, I got an idea right here, okay? Izuku turns into a cat and sleeps there like a regular old household cat, a house cat, right? And he goes to sleep, and Aizawa would look at him, and like she would go and grab him, pick. him up. Like the clothes are on the ground, right? Everything. So now Aizawa's just holding a cat, right? Just holding a cat at this point, petting it. Izuku's purring because, well, he's a cat. I don't get why he wouldn't purr. And so the students start coming out and they all get confused. Um, and Kirishima would ask, "Can I pet the cat?" And what she would raise her hand and say that, right? They don't just go out asking willy nilly. And and Aizawa would say, "I don't know, ask him." And if you ever seen What Lion King or any anime with a cat and how they hold him, and so Aizawa holds him by his front legs like Lion King, and and Midori would say, "I guess I don't know." And everyone would freak out, like say "oh" or something. Besides Bakugo and Izumi and Todoroki, but yet Todoroki would still think it's cute. Okay, and Midori would say, "Can you put me down?" And Aizawa would say, "Do you want me to? You will get strangled by these women." I don't know. That's a hard choice. What if I get to my clothes first? I can probably get to my clothes first. I don't know. Put me down. Put me down. And he starts booking it between their legs, blah, 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 getting to his clothes, grabs the clothes with his mouth, goes behind like a wall, transforms back, puts his clothes back on, boo. And he says while he's going out, I really need to get uh clothes that can shrink when I shrink and grow when I grow. But I kind of like how they're invisible. I wonder that if I can do that. Hmm. Huh. I can make it out of my hair. I'm gonna try that. Okay. And they start the thing and blah blah. Everyone goes. Like they do the ball throw will be last. And so they get to last and and uh Midoriya would and Aizawa would say, "Well, number one come up." And Bakugo would expect Iz Izumi to go up top and Midoriya is on the left side closest to the door to get out of there once they're done. He's sitting down and says, and and Midori would say, "Ugh, do I have to go first? I mean, I could get this over with quicker if I go now." And he would walk up, and while this is happening, Izumi and Bakugo are like looking at him angry because they don't know how. Like Izumi got third, Bakugo got second, he got first. Midori got first, right? They're confused at this point, and how this boy got first at this, and how none of them get it. And so he gets up there in the circle, and he looks at the ball. He looks at himself. He is he doesn't really have a shirt. He is zipped apart, like it's open, it's freely, and he thinks, what could he turn into? He thinks I could turn into a gorilla. He thinks he could turn into and while he's thinking this, Aizawa would say, "You do realize those clothes will grow with you as you grow in size." I'm gonna tell you this now. Um, yeah, we didn't get any there, but they might tear. Okay, so don't go worrying about it. And he would look at her like at his heart and gives her a thumbs up and smile. And he would transform into a gorilla, a silverback gorilla, and boom, it would go in the air and at like 500 meters or something. 500 and no, I'm gonna say 600, 669. Yep, yeah, I'm gonna do that. 669.9. Yeah, I'm gonna say that far. And so after that, his whole entire clothes are teared. I mean, minus his pants. His pants survived the bid. I mean, they're they're teared. His shoes are, well, he never even wore shoes in the first place. He just walks everywhere, shoeless. So, yeah. And he bolts out of there. I mean, he starts running. And he yells, I will be in the classroom. And so, yeah, that's where I'm going to end it. I need to go do stuff. And so, yeah, um, like, subscribe, comment your favorite color and your favorite animal. Okay, I need you to do that. Okay, so that I can turn into them next time. Well, Midoriya can turn into them next time. I can't turn into animals. Okay, so yeah, favorite color, uh, favorite animal. Put them down in the comments. Okay, and I'll see you next. Well, I'll see you Friday, for another part on my what if Midoriya had the 8 gates. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye. Oh yeah, before I go, go check out my other what ifs. There is what if Nanami? Wait, no, no. What if Deku was Nanami's reincarnation? And there is what if Midoriya had the 8 gates? Go check it out, please. Like, subscribe on those. Well, like and comment on those, whatever you want. And yeah. I'll see you next time on another, well, this Friday, as I said. I'll see you this Friday. Bye.